Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we are drinking the 2023 Bourbon County brand Bananas Foster Stout by Goose Brewing Company out of Chicago, Illinois. Thanks for joining us.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional, somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we're drinking and reviewing. We are back to do that once again. Appreciate you checking out this video. I hope we have a fun one today. I'm really excited about this one. I've got Andy Stash in the attic, and I've got Jay. What are we drinking?
You haven't had anything to drink, man. You're already buzzing.
I'm excited about this special treat. We've had this in the cellar or the fridge for a while, so it's an exciting one. The Goose Island Bourbon County brand stout, 2023 version of the Banana Foster Stout. So a lot in there, and it's going to take a while to drink because it's a bigger bottle.
Yeah, and this is one I have been looking forward to since we got it. So,
a lot of people rave about the Goose Island Bourbon County stouts when they come out, the brand stouts.
Yep. I know they typically tend to be very sought after every year.
I have to forgive my glass, but I'm limited on glassware tonight.
Unacceptable.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Bourbon 2023 Bourbon County Barrel brand Bananas Foster Stout. It's more than just an imperial stout. It is 13.9%. Heavy hitter.
Big boy.
And it was first released in 2017. Now, as we said earlier, we reviewed the base stout, the Bourbon County brand stout. And I mentioned that was first released in 1992. When this was released in 2017, it was named the Bourbon County brand Proprietor's Stout and was only sold in the Chicago area. The beer is made with bananas, almond, cassia bark. I never heard of that, but it's actually like a Chinese cinnamon. Cassia, Cassia. And the hops that just uses Millennium hops. Has deep aromas of banana bread, cinnamon, and almond. Let me get my nose in on that. Flavor is ripe bananas, toasted almond, brown sugar, and cinnamon. Now, I've always heard of Bananas Foster. I don't think I've ever had Bananas Foster, but I'm aware of it. I think I've had.
What? You've never had Bananas Fosters?
I know. I am not a sophisticate. I only look it. But
my Lord.
So I looked it up, and I was like, I've had some things that are flavored like Banana Foster style. So what goes in a Banana Foster? Well, it's a dessert made from bananas, vanilla ice cream, and a sauce made from butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, dark rum, banana liqueur. and the butter, sugar, bananas are cooked, and alcohol's added, and then it's ignited, and the bananas and the sauce are served over ice cream.
Typically
burn off that
table
alcohol.
side. Yeah.
Table side flambe.
Yes, it's very delicious.
So it's like, okay, because I remember that, but I've never had it. Do y'all know the origin story? Where did it come from?
I assume it probably came from New Orleans or in that area, but I could be wrong.
Boom. You are a smart man. You're beautiful and smart. Look at you. It is an American dessert originating in New Orleans in 1951. Now, most people say it originated at Brennan's, the restaurant, but it was not Brennan's. It was Owen Brennan's View Car. I'm saying that correctly? That restaurant. And the Bananas Foster was named for Richard Foster, who was, this is interesting, the chairman of the New Orleans Crime Commission, and he was a friend of the owner. So this famous dessert is named after, somebody who's tough on crime in New Orleans, which I would think, coming from New Orleans, it would actually be named after a crime boss, because it's such a corrupt city.
But who's to say he wasn't corrupt as a police officer?
Yeah, exactly. The corruption goes both ways, and as a service to him dining in his restaurant, it's like, I'm going to name this dessert after you. Look on favor, on me and my establishment.
It's a good way to get it. I mean, we all know.
I'm romanticizing that. It could, they could have just been childhood friends, and he's like, "Hey, dude,
Hey, we all know what Bananas Foster's is, though, right? So, I mean, it's interesting that it's named after a person, and it has.
Yeah, I didn't know that tidbit, but I knew the New Orleans piece of it. So,
yeah, I had no idea. New Orleans.
Thank you for that history.
Yeah, I thought it was just fun. I was like, I'm curious. Bananas Foster. Where am I going with this? Again, we reviewed the Goose Island with the Bourbon County brand Stout, the original. Chicago, Illinois. It is currently considered a macro brewery because it was acquired by Anheuser-Busch in 2011. The original brewery was founded in 1998, and the founder was inspired by traveling Europe and tasting all the different beers. So he wanted to do his own thing in the States. Boom.
All right. Jay, I know you provided this one, if memory serves me correct.
I think so.
Have you had this one before, this variant?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna make you go first this time. Andy, what do you think?
Keep talking, Andy. All right. And just loves to hear the sound of my voice.
Of course we do.
Get it over with.
I gotta heat this up some. I'm struggling to pick out a lot of banana.
I wish it was closer to room temperature.
Yeah. I'm getting vanilla and a little almond and booze, like a bourbon barrel taste on the stout. Sugary, a little cinnamon and brown sugar. Yeah, I'm picking up that. I'm wondering if it needs to be a little warmer and to pick up that banana. So I'm going to do this a little bit. And
I can tell you, I pulled mine out of the fridge probably 20 or so minutes before we started. Okay. I don't get the banana either. Given my track record, that may not surprise anybody, but I'm not pulling banana out of this. And I was really surprised at the first sip, because you expect the banana flavor. So, but
it's still good. It's not bad. I don't feel it is on the level as the original. That was gold. That was a great one. I'm trying to remember back. I feel like I'm getting more of that boozy bourbon flavor out of this than I recall the other. And the other one, it was very well balanced. This, that's, I guess I'm really searching more for that banana, and all I can pull out is the bourbon. Don't get me wrong, I would have this again. I'm going to give it a 7.5. It doesn't hit that 8 and above status. It's very rich.
All right, I'll jump in there and go next since Jay provided this one. Thank you, Jay. So yeah, I was as I mentioned on the front end, I was super excited to try this one. I think the thought of a Bananas Foster, bourbon barrel, combining all of those flavors together, super excited. Again, I don't get the banana either. I can get a little bit on the nose as far as the banana bread, ever so slight, but I get mostly the nut, mostly the almond smell. In the taste, it's mostly, for me, it's brown sugar. And then I get a little bit of nut on the back end too. But it definitely is a little bit sweeter, obviously, than the original that we had. And I'm with you. I like the original better. And I think it's a lot of times we've had beers like this where you've got the original. I'm thinking the Dragon, the milk
Dragon's
stout.
milk.
Yep, Dragon's milk. Where you have the original and then they do the variants around it, right? And we've had a couple of the variants now, I think, and or maybe at least just one. But it's like the original is really super good, and you get super excited about the variants because they're building on top of the original. And then, it's can be somewhat of a letdown sometimes. I'm not saying necessarily this is a letdown. I think it is a great beer. I think it's just interesting that you go expecting at least a banana flavor, and I just don't get that at all. I actually still do really like this one. I think for a stout, if you take the banana out of it in the sense, I think it's very flavorful. You get a lot out of it. It is boozy compared to maybe some other stouts that we've had, but obviously again that's such high ABV. What do you expect? So all that to say, I think it's an 8. I would definitely drink it again. I think the only thing I'm disappointed in is just the lack of a banana flavor. So, what say you, Jay? You're the only one left.
I know.
The bottle's not talking tonight.
Yeah. I will say this: I do get banana peel a little bit on it, and just wait until you get a little belch, then you're going to taste the banana.
Just did a little bit.
Yeah, when you get a little belch, you're going to taste some banana on the back end. But I agree with what you guys have said. To me, the most prevalent aspects are the booze, the nuts, and a little bit of chocolate is what I get out of it. It's very rich. It's very boozy. And I disagree with you, Ben, saying that, at 13.9, you're going to expect some booze. We've had others that have been 13, 14% that certain breweries, and I think even the original we had was over 14. It was smooth. It didn't taste extremely boozy. This one has a little more booze flavor on it than I expected. So, all that said, yeah, you built it up because of the bottle and the specialty, and having a Banana Foster stout. Wow, that just sounds amazing. It's almost a little bit of a letdown. I hate to put it in those terms, but I tend to agree with Andy. I think I'm going 7.5. I want to rate it higher, but the letdown aspects of it are there. So.
Gotcha. And to the point you made, at 13, 14%, I expect it to be boozy. When it's not, that's when I'm surprised. Yeah. Right. So I agree with you. And those other beers, they were not boozy and as much. And so, going into a 13, 14%, I expect the booze personally. But I know what you're saying.
Yep. So. And I'm seeing this as like, I'm looking, I still got some in the bottle. I still got this. I would tell people share this with a friend
or two.
because yeah, it is super rich. And it's starting to feel like, ugh, I'm like,
or share it. Get a bottle amongst 4 or 5 people and get
I'm like, I'm
4-ounce
finish the rest of
glasses
this.
for dessert after a meal. I mean, this would be a good dessert.
Yeah, this is definitely a dessert. And I think it'll tide me over to tomorrow's breakfast.
That's going to give us a 7.7 for the Bananas Foster Bourbon County Stout. Bourbon County Bananas Foster Stout. No, I say that backwards.
Bourbon County brand Bananas Foster Stout, the 2023.
See, why don't you do my job? Definitely.
That's going to give us a 7.7 for the 2023 Bourbon County brand Bananas Foster Stout from Goose Island Brewing Company out of Chicago, Illinois. Definitely one to pick up and try with friends. It might be a little too much on your own, depending on what portion you want. If you've had it before, why don't you reply in the comments? Tell us what you think. Can you pick out banana? Have you had a different year?
I don't think that they did a different year on the Banana Fosters.
So, did you drink it as the proprietor's brand or the proprietor's stout from starting in 2017? Do you have a mustache or want to talk mustaches? Do you want to talk close haircuts with Ben?
Magic the Gathering. Don't forget about that.
Go ahead, Ben. Take it away.
Oh, okay. You don't want to do the rest?
If you haven't already,
you did a great job.
Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
You've heard this for 400 plus shows. How do you not know this?
I tune you out. All
right. Yeah. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell. Check us out on all social media links down below in the description. Come say in our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server where you can talk mustaches and short haircuts and Magic the Gathering.
And banana bread beer.
There you go. The best beer on the planet, according to Andy in the attic. You have any interesting Hopped Up Beer Review merch? We got a link down below in the description. We got koozie, shirts, glassware, some other stuff there with our awesome, amazing, world-renowned logo on it. Check that out. And if you have any interest in any of the stuff that we use to make this show, any of the equipment or any of the glassware that we sometimes show here that's a little bit different, we got a link down there below as well. With that, Andy, I appreciate you taking over half of the load here. That was nice to get a little break. With that, cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
For Andy in the attic and Ben. I was about to start all over. Cheers, mates.